What does it mean to be a change maker? Hey, it's Lucas Grobot, and you're listening to Weaver and Loom. Welcome to Weaver and Loom, a solo segment of Own the Future podcast, a podcast where we talk about being change makers, where we talk about owning our story so that we can shape our futures. I love being with you every day, and I'm excited to be with you today as we talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. That is, what does it mean to be a change maker? I believe that in order to be a change maker, we have to do work when no one's watching. We have to live our lives in such a way that it's not predicated on the affirmation of other people, what other people think about us, what other people say about us when they are not in front of us, when they're behind our backs. We cannot live our lives predicated on other people's opinions and point of view. And because of that, I believe that we must have the courage to become absolute nobodies, people who are willing to do the work in spite of praise, fame, adoration, admiration, the living our lives based on predicated on the opinions and thoughts of others. But I encountered this over the last couple weeks thinking about, well, what does it mean to be an absolute nobody? And I thought that maybe I haven't quite explained it well enough. And it is a pillar in my life, in my thought life, the way that I order my life, of this courage to be an absolute nobody. And we've talked about this a little bit in episode 45 with the story of Franny and Zooey, where Franny, she is in theater school and she's talking to her brother Zooey, and she says, I wish I had the courage to be an absolute nobody. Everyone else they're all fighting and jockeying, trying to be the best, trying to be a somebody. And she found herself caught up in that rat race, trying to become a somebody too. And she was too afraid to live in obscurity. She was too afraid to actually be an absolute nobody. And that, to me, it speaks to her not wanting to live her life predicated on what other people think of her, predicated on the praise and the affirmation of others. There's another story, though, that we shared in episode 59 about the tomb of the unknown soldier. So being an absolute nobody does not mean doing absolutely nothing. But in the story of the tomb of the unknown soldier, we saw that one of the most celebrated soldiers or people in the world are those who are doing work that goes without recognition, who are living and dying, sacrificing their life for a greater cause in spite of not having their name on a billboard, not having their name on a building, on a bench, not having their name celebrated and remembered for all of generations to come. Because most of us, our name will not be remembered 5, 10, 15, 20 generations from now, but our impact can be felt. Just like the impact of men and women who have given themselves in many wars will be remembered and felt for generations. So, over the next 6 or 7 episodes, we are going to talk in depth and unpack the various facets of what does it mean to be a change maker? What does it mean to be born for greatness? We're going to unpack how we cannot live on the proxy or live on the opinions of other people. If our lives are ordered around the affirmation and praise of man, we are going to be depressed and sad people. We don't want that. You don't want that. And not only will you be depressed and sad, but you actually won't be a change maker because you're going to be too worried about what other people think that you won't be able to do the important work that matters, the work that you were born to complete in your lifetime. And I believe that you were and you are created for a purpose. You were created as a change maker. We are also going to talk about how you act when no one's watching. We're going to talk about what you need to know beforehand in order to become an absolute nobody. We're going to talk about the most influential person in all of history. Who is that person? What is the title of the most influential person who is also the most unseen person, the most unrecognized person? And I would love to know if you are able to guess who that is before the episode comes out. So I am really looking forward to this series. As I said in the beginning, I think about this all the time. I think about how can I live my life in service to other people so that I can actually achieve my purpose, because your purpose is actually wrapped up in serving others. All of us, whether you're the top CEO or whether you're sweeping floors, your purpose is wrapped up in serving others. If you want to become a gajillionaire, a billionaire, a millionaire, someone that even has $10 in their bank, it doesn't matter. Your financial success is actually wrapped up in your ability to add value and add service to others. We are not islands. No one becomes a millionaire or a billionaire by themselves. They do it through figuring out how to selflessly serve others in a way that adds value to their life. So whether it's in business or whether it's seeing your community transformed, you need to learn to have your identity solidified. And we're going to talk about that and learn how to then move into living as an absolute nobody, living with the courage to be unseen in order to make the difference that you actually want to make in the world, that you believe that you were born and placed on this earth to make. So thank you for being here. I love being here with you, and I would love to hear from you. So please shoot me a message. I would love to hear from you. And please, your friends are missing out right now because they are not listening to this podcast. I know you have friends, and I know that they were born and destined to change the world as well. So don't be greedy. Share this podcast with a friend today. That is all for today. Remember, I'm Lucas Skrobot. You are a change maker, and this is where destiny is woven.